Yeah, but then I throw it away after I'm done with it.
I wash them. I have a drawer full.
Oh, every night you. Oh, that's not a bad method.
It's called a handkerchief.
Oh, I know.
That's what they used
get
to.
ready
That's what
because
they
I'm going
used
to
to use
start
it
wearing
for.
handkerchiefs around my neck to cover up my goiter.
We apologize in advance for that.
Well, George is going to get really upset when I come out wearing a silk.
Really is really is a relative term.
When I had the ascot on that night for New Year's Eve, I got the eye roll.
I did not give you the eye roll.
Yeah.
I thought if you're ever going to wear it, that's a good time to wear it.
You stopped and you went upstairs and you changed so you could be
well, because I said casual, because we both agreed.
You never said casual. It's New Year's Eve.
But we both say it's going to be pretty casual. We did
and
not
look at what your wife wore. She was glammed out. My wife was glammed out. What am I going to do? Come in dungarees?
Well, I had to go change for my dungarees.
Do you like the dungarees? Okay. All right. You want to talk about Prop 1? Unfortunately, that just passed because George has a great pie chart for all of you. And in fact, it's not a Venn diagram that Kamala would really like.
It's a George diagram.
But it is a pie chart. And I couldn't really quite understand. So walk us through that.
Okay, well, I mean, Prop 1 passed, but that he sent his political PAC to go after.
What's the Prop 1 about?
The Prop 1 is about a 6.38, because I have to do backstory, $6.38 billion bond, which will cost the taxpayers between $10 and $12 billion when paid off. And it's just a slush fund for contractors to build more beds for the homeless and for the veterans, and that's what Newsom, the frickin' snake oil salesman that he is, said this ballot initiative is so close because it's when they had the initiative that was just with 200,000 left. There was 17,000 votes ahead. There was 200,000 votes to
still tabulate.
To tabulate. Thank you. Mm-hmm. And he goes, this ballot is so close that your commitment to volunteer could mean the difference between people getting off the streets and into treatment they need or not. And this is what I made this.
Happy chart.
The happy chart is the reality of it is it's the health services right now gets X amount a year from Prop 63 or 62. Prop 63. And they get 1% of anybody. It's a 1% tax anybody making over $1 million a year. It comes to $2 to $3.5 billion a year. Million or billion? Billion a year. Okay, so this prop.
That sounds substantial to me.
It is, but this prop takes 5% of that. The government got 5% of that originally, right?
Yeah.
So now they get 10% with Prop 1. So they take 5%, they take that percentage from health services, right, of their general budget. So they take that from them. And then they build all these houses. This is to build the contractor slush fund. They can just, where Newsom can make all his backdoor money.
Deals, whatever, yeah.
Backdoor deals. And then the health services that is making less money technically because of that 5%, they're making less money more, which I could go into because they don't qualify for federal subsidies because of what they're doing. They have to use this staff to house all these new beds. Right. So you get less staff, less help, and Newsom's talking like, get the people the help they deserve, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, the bottom line of this whole thing that he's claiming is going to get rid of, it's for homeless. Total homeless in California is 171,500.
Last count, right.
This Prop 8 will do 9,100 beds. That's 3.9%. This bill will get beds for 3% of the homeless, 4% of the homeless. Okay? Wow, that's going to make a big dent, isn't it? And the veterans, the total homeless veterans is 10,500. This is as of January 22. That was the last. I guess we'll get one in January, which should be, but anyway, it's more now. So it's way more now.
Yeah.
But so the bill is 2,300 veteran beds. That's 2% of the homeless veteran
So
count.
you're saying it's gone, the amount of beds is going down?
No,
I don't have a calculator.
I'm saying he's saying this is going to help the homeless when he's making, there's 171,000 homeless and he's making 9,000 beds. So how's that going to help the homeless? It'll help 10,000 homeless people. But as far as the homeless problem, it's not going to do jack shit.
Oh, the home overall, right.
And the service and the care that they get is going to be much less. It's going to take services away from people that really want it and go there voluntarily to the health services. It's going to be harder for them to get the care they need because they have to spread all the same resources, staffing. A lot of that money was going for training staff and stuff. Oh. All the training staff stuff now going to just run these other facilities, these other beds that are vacant, and it's
dilutes it.
And there's another thing too, that they haven't chosen, and they can pick wherever they want to put these homes that they're building, and nothing you can say about it. Like they're saying, like it's almost like eminent domain. We're going to put one here. Doesn't matter what the neighbors say. There's no approval process for the community.
Well, it's a real challenge. I don't know I don't know how many beds were provided before Prop 1.
Okay, that man.
But the point is that when the biggest point is that when he sent the ballots back out
to only the Democrats.
Well, is that for sure?
It certainly is.
Because they didn't fill out the forms correctly, or the signature, they didn't sign it correctly or something, he sent the forms back out to them to redo.
Only Democrats because they were slightly more supportive. Also, in addition, he's launching a massive statewide effort to find the votes needed to ensure passage of Prop 1 through his campaign for Democracy PAC. Shouldn't that be
it's like, the children.
Illegal for him to say to his Democrat Pat, go get, he's looking for votes, find the votes. And they condemned Trump to ask, where was it? Georgia, hey, will you find the votes? There's got to be votes in there somewhere. And he didn't say make up votes.
No, he certainly didn't. He said but
it just leads me to the and they said they don't have to have the results of the election till, I think the deadline was April 17th. Granted, they already got this, but when March 5th was the voting day?
I thought you said it cleared. Yeah, March 5th.
It did clear, but on the books it said they have till April 17th, I think, or April 14th to tally all these ballots.
We had this.
How wrong is that?
We had this discussion in our household when the mail-in balloting first became like a big thing because of COVID.
When the illegal mail-in balloting happened?
Well,
California's not illegal.
Okay, the point is that it's like my wife was like, if you can't follow the instructions.
Hallelujah. I know where this is going.
Then that ballot should be thrown in the trash. It's like you don't get a do-over on it, and it's like you don't get a. It's like you shouldn't be voting.
You're too stupid to fucking do it.
Why is it always? It's always on your side of the table.
Because you never curse.
It's always there.
Oh, my friend says his. Go ahead.
Okay, that's about it.
No. My friend says his girlfriend. She hates cursing.
Yeah.
So when she texts him something mean, she goes, expletive. She'll write out expletive.
I like that. Well, I'm going to use that one from now on.
Wasn't that awesome?
Thanks for that. But the point is that you really got in the weeds with this, and it's like it was a little confusing to me because I'm not quite sure. You're saying that after Prop 1, it actually helps the homeless less than before Prop 1.
Yes.
Okay, that's
it is technically, this is what they hung their coat on. They hung their hat on. Technically, there's no beds. They're making beds for the homeless. Theoretically, it's way worse.
Okay.
Actually, technically, it's way worse if you read it.
Okay, and that's because we're
buttoning up, tight subject.
Buttoning up because people are going to have to rewind this with a calculator to figure out what the hell you're talking about through half that thing.
Well, if you figure 9,000 beds for 171,000 homeless, how much?
But what was it before? So that's what I'm asking. Before Prop 1. How many beds were available to 171,000 homeless before Prop 1? Because is it more beds? But the point is, what you're saying is that how many more is it justifiable because it's going to be $10 to $12 billion to reap for the taxpayers?
I guess that's kind of like an irrelevant variable, though, right?
That's the root of it.
Because nobody's using them anyway. If the beds are there, nobody's using them anyway.
Right. Well, they don't want to have the rules underneath the house that's provided to them by the state, which is no drugs.
And that's another thing too. In Prop 1, they can't. They're on a no rejection policy on the new homes.
And I'm not saying
which means that they can come in and not accept the drug treatment, and stay there.
Okay,
let's shoot up there.
No, I don't know about shooting up there.
Oh, really?
But let's.
You really think you're naive if you don't think they can do that, man?
Well, Oregon, backpedaled on their whole thing, and the governor just signed the law that everyone, that they passed, blah blah blah, and it's like, gee, who would have thought? And that's not to imply that there's not people that are just down on their luck that are homeless, and those are the people you want to help, But there's got to be a limit to it, right? You can't just be this open-ended social siphon of dollars going to people that just choose to not work and would rather be on the side of the road.
But there is.
Yeah, and where? Arkansas.
In California, there's an open freaking funnel of funds going to help these guys.
I know. Dude, it's tough because you want to be compassionate, and at the same time, you got to be reasonable because you also want to be compassionate to the taxpayers.
Hey, compassion is cleaning them up. Let's be.
But
you want to be compassionate to the citizens of the state or to the drug addict motherfuckers? Go on. Sorry, this is a heated session.
And that's I get it, what you're saying, but
I know you're talking about the ones that really need help.
Just leave it over there.
You're talking about the ones that really need help. But honestly, Tim, I'm going to call you out on a limb here.
Go ahead. I'm ready to go. I'll be Switzerland.
I'll be Switzerland. I can say anything. Of the homeless. How many do you think are really down on their luck homeless? I don't know. I don't have any idea. I don't even have a guess. I don't know.
I would say it's down below. I would say it's probably 10 to 15%.
Look at that, folks. This is a good one.
Well, that's my guess.
Me too. That's my guess.
From what I see.
Me too.
From what I see.
10%, maybe 50%.
And the truth of the matter is,
it's like, I know that if it were me out there,
I would like to know if anybody knows the answer to that.
I know, I'd be not. Well, I'm sure they have it. If it were me out there, Tim, and I was drug addict, blah blah, then, if it was you out there, because it's more likely that I'd be drug addict and homeless.
I don't know. Well, you and me both, buddy. I'm living it out of my.
But I would have a different mindset. I would not have a fuck 'em mindset.
I would. I'm going to give a personal perspective button up, and that is it. The church we grew up in. I don't know if you know, but I did a.
I wanted to go there for Easter, by the way.
I did. Oh, you did? I did. Well, our old pastor's not there anymore. But anyway, I did a homeless video for them one time.
I think I remember. I do remember
because the pastor, we won't use his name. He's a wonderful, wonderful, amazing human being, and he. Anyway, opened the doors to homeless people. He let them sleep on the property and even in the church itself. But they had to help. The rule was they had to help out. They had to help with. There was a community garden. They did all these great things.
That's racist.
And this is the Christian side that everyone doesn't want to see. But they're most very helpful in this regard. Anyway, the point is that so he asked me. He's like, I want to get the word out, and I said, great, because he wanted to raise more money to help the homeless. And I said, great. He wanted to get showers in there, temporary showers and things of this nature once a week, whatever. And I said, great, I'm happy to help out. So I went in there and we interviewed the homeless people and stuff like that. And they were just the most amazing people and amazing stories.
What year was that, though?
So compassionate. It was years ago. But my point is that
decades.
Don't age me like that.
Well, I'm saying the homeless situation is completely different now.
It is because of the loosening of all the drug policy.
Because 20 years ago, go ahead, sorry.
The point is that there was one lady there who had a family of 2 kids, and they were living out of their car and everything. And she, it was so emotional, she had tears and everything, and it was just this beautiful thing because she was really trying.
Yeah,
she was really trying to get out of that situation, and she just ended up through a series of bad luck instances, ended up in that situation. And those are the people.
And it could be us.
That's right. Any day of the week it could be us. It'll be me next Tuesday.
I'll be out there with you.
I don't mean to make light of it.
Literally.
But you get the point. The point is that there are those people, and you want to help those people.
Right.
It's like, I understand if people just want to sit there on the side of the road and shoot up and take, drug tranquilizers and fentanyl.
Then take them out to the desert.
Then I kind of feel like build a giant facility out in Irwindale and with a bunch of bunk beds and everything. And send them out there.
They're already giving them needles and safe, to keep them. So why don't you do it somewhere out?
I don't know. It's the challenge is that right now, the policies that they have in place are not working.
Well, I know, and they're just exacerbating the issue right now with this Prop 1, which it just infuriates me that they say that this is beneficial to the homeless. It's such a non-helper, and it gives less services, and it's just this slush fund that he can give all his donors, all the people that contribute to his campaign. He can give these contracts to them to build these doggone houses.
Good for you.
And anyway, but I guess back to your point, like if it was 30 years ago when you did that, maybe 25 years ago.
No, I would say it was maybe 15 tops.
Think about it, because when we say, "Oh, I think it was 15," you really think about it. It's like,
"Oh God,
it was 25."
I'm telling you, it was 15 years ago, and
Okay.
I know, and I'll tell you later.
Because I'm just wondering, like the homeless wasn't. It was 10% of what this is now. You think, or maybe a little bit, like 50%.
We're speculating.
I know this is a speculation hour. Like 10%, you say it was like I'm guessing it was like 20% of what it is now.
I mean, obviously, reducing the criminal possession of heavy hard drugs, and also.
I'm just saying, just people you see on the street.
It started the conflict. Of course, you see it's more pronounced now. There's no question about it. By a factor of
I'm
what?
saying
I don't
10.
know.
I'm saying 15% of what it was, or what it is now.
Wait, good.
Button up.
Positive.
Oh,
Everyone's
I love
positive.
my brother. I love my brother.
Everyone. We, be kind to everybody, and
you always say, be kind to everybody.
Let's be tolerant. I read a passage because it was Easter, and it was in Matthew, and it said that you will be called on all of your
deeds,
most minorest of transgressions, and it's in Matthew, and I can't remember it exactly. And it doesn't mean that you have to be a murderer or anything like that. It's like what's in your heart, because if you wish ill on somebody or anything like that,
in his eyes, that's
as bad as doing it. That's exactly right.
And
so you just be mindful.
It's hard to wrap your head around that, though.
When you wanna curse people out,
you know what I mean? Like. I guess you're right. I mean, and you're much better at that than I am. So
I am not. I'm trying.
Oh my gosh, you're way better than I am.
What's your worst curse word when you're in traffic? You don't have to say it. You can just.
I can't say it. I don't. It's from another planet.
Well, I bet it's all kinds of expletives strung together.
I mean, I'm the F word. I'm the F bomb guy.
Well, I'm very ashamed to say that I throw out the JC way too often. And I remember one time specifically, I was driving and I gave somebody the JC, and I checked myself. I'm like, dude,
how do you give him the JC? You voiced it to him. Jesus Christ.
Oh, you actually said it. And then I said to myself, I said, dude, control yourself, man. Don't do that. And then fucking 2 blocks later.
No. Own it.
Literally 2 blocks later, I used the same phrase.
I'm pretty good with just kind of going.
And it's like, dude, what's happening to me?
But then I'm in a lot of stammering today.
Yeah. Except when you're...
Today's society is really curbing my road rage. You know why? Well, you know why.
Well, it's not curbing it.
It's
exacerbating.
No, it's curbing it because I don't say that because they could have a freaking pistol under it and bam.
Oh.
You know, with today's society, and you never know.
Well, anyway,
so it's curbing my.
My wife always says, you don't know what that person is going through, and I don't mean to use these hand gestures because she's right.
And especially you shouldn't if you have to do it, you need to do it when the loved one is not in the car. When you're by yourself, it's your own heart. It's your own cause of yourself. You don't want to injure like your wife for something you did.
Well, you got to keep that stress under control, buddy. At our age, we're geriatrics.